Hello and welcome to the second edition of InTouch, the rugby magazine show keeping you up to date with the latest goings on at the Rugby World Cup. I'm Patrick Baines and joining me this week is Ollie Williams.
On this week's show, we'll be reflecting on Wales's remarkable comeback at Twickenham, and we'll also be looking at what social media has been saying ahead of England's crucial World Cup match against Australia on Saturday.
But now we go to Sean Watts, who was out and about in Gloucestershire seeing what fans made of the epic encounter at Twickenham last Saturday.
It was built up as a game between two giants in the world of rugby, but one which this year's World Cup hosts were slight favourites for. At the brewery in Cheltenham, there was a lot of English optimism that was soon to be dampened after a late Welsh comeback left England's World Cup hopes hanging by a thread. After Wales's triumph against England at Twickenham, I came down to the Fanzone to find out people's opinions on England v Wales and whether either team has a realistic opportunity of going on and winning the tournament. So what did you guys think of England's performance last night?
Very, very good until the last probably 10 minutes. And I think towards the end we threw it away.
Yeah, and I guess as a Welshman, I thought when we were 10 points down, I thought this is it boys, we're down and out, we're struggling. Second half was brilliant though, wasn't it?
Extremely disappointed. We were doing so well, and how the hell we managed to let a 10-point lead slip is beyond me. I think it was the changes that Lancaster made, bringing the substitutes on, spoiled the whole rhythm of the game. I'm still reeling from the result. Very disappointed.
England's performance was not too bad, but at the end of the game, I knew the Welsh would come and do it, because I'm a Celt, and fellow Celts always beat the English.
I thought they dominated throughout the whole game, but it was just a shame that at the end they couldn't keep up with the points.
I thought it was a fantastic effort, but I think the better team won on the night.
And do you think, firstly, England have any chance of going on and winning the tournament?
No.
I think given the injuries that Wales have got and the strength that Fiji showed in the last two matches they've played, I think it's still possible.
If they get their fingers out and start getting themselves sorted out and stupid mistakes, yeah, they might be able to do it. But it's got Scotland now to go.
Possibly if they try to keep the ball a bit longer and try and score some more tries, that's going to help them quite a lot.
Do you think Wales have any chance of going on and winning the tournament?
I'd love to see Wales win the tournament. Heart of hearts, yeah, I'm a Welshman, of course they're going to win.
I think they can, as long as they're left with the team by the end of their injuries. And I just think that every one of them that are now getting in places that never thought they would are coming out and fighting. And then the other players don't know what to expect because they know all the tactics of the top players, but they don't know the ones that aren't so popular.
I believe so. We've got some tough games ahead of us. We've got Australia to come. They're playing at the moment against Uruguay. It's possible. Anything's possible.
Definitely, they went in with a very good strategy and it worked on the night.
What do you think of Scotland's chances of winning the tournament?
Everybody's got a chance, and after the result what we had against Japan was absolutely excellent. Japan beat South Africa, so it's an open ball game now, isn't it?
And in one word, who do you think is going to win the tournament?
New Zealand. Only one team in it.
I can't say New Zealand in one word, but it would be New Zealand.
As well as gauging the fans' opinion, I popped into local high street sports shop Hudson & Co. to see how the tournament is affecting business. So as an Englishman, what did you make of the performance last night?
55 minutes, very, very good. And then for the second part of the second half, I just thought ill discipline cost us the game, really. And why we didn't kick the penalty at the end, I've absolutely no idea. Stop them from getting 4 points. If it's 2 points, it's 2 points. It was just stupid, so stupid. Isn't it? Just get the points on the board and then we can go again. But there we go.
And what do you make of England's chances of actually getting out of the group now?
Very, very difficult. I can't see them beating Australia, in truth. But then I thought they beat Wales last night, so if I go they're going to lose to Australia, they'll go through then.
And in terms of business, how does the Rugby World Cup being in Gloucester help your shop?
Oh, absolutely, unbelievably. It's been the last, 10 days into it, have been just incredible. It started from the opening day and it's just got busier and busier and busier. Friday with the Argentinians was just incredible. I've never had a day like that. It was phenomenal. And what's also been good is the fact the atmosphere has been incredible. All these different supporters have added something, bit of colour and glamour to it, and it's just made for a fantastic atmosphere.
And just one more quick question. Who do you think is going to win the Rugby World Cup this year?
If England can get out of the group, I'm going to go England, but I think probably Australia, I think.
It remains to be seen as to whether or not England will be able to live up to their pre-tournament billing as potential winners. But one thing is for sure, next Saturday's game against Australia is definitely must win.
A wonderful package there from Sean Watts, who of course has been down in Gloucestershire finding out the fans' reaction. Now, talking of reaction, social media is going to be a huge part of this World Cup. The last World Cup, it was just starting to come into fruition, but now it has exploded, and we've already had quite a few soap operas already. Starting here, Israel Folau, of course, one of the main men for Australia, is tweeted, "Start of an exciting week ahead. Looking forward to working with my brothers." Australia could be really up for this, Patrick, and they can almost smell blood with the English, can't they?
It's been an exciting World Cup already, and Australia, they've won both their games. They've got the England game on Saturday. England potentially looking at not getting out of the pool as hosts. Massive for the English and the Australians. This Folau, one of their key men. It's Saturday night could be, an explosion.
Of course, Australia really up for the game, as will England. They want to be able to rectify that loss against Wales at Twickenham. Billy Vunipola has tweeted, sadly for him, his World Cup is gone. Nick Easter comes in to replace him, and Billy Vunipola has tweeted, "Humbled by all the messages and support, and thank you one and all. I'll be back, but for now, let's bring the noise on Saturday for @England Rugby." Nick Easter's come in, has some discipline issues they tend to do in big games, England. Do you think Nick Easter can come in with his experience and sort that out?
Well, as you say, Nick Easter's an experienced head. He'll certainly bring a lot, bring of intelligence maybe to England late on in that key stages. It looks like Australia is going to be a very close game. That vital kind of last quarter is where games are won, as we saw on Saturday.
Well, from Australia and England, we go to England and Wales. Scott Williams has had a bit of a time with Sam Burgess so far. Sam Burgess has been hugely discussed already in this World Cup, but a press conference has been said, and there's been a bit of handbags in between that. But a bit of an apology and a bit of a making up between these two. Sam Burgess tweeting Scott Williams, "All the best with the recovery, lad. Last week's just banter, by the way. I knew, was just playing around with a question asked." Patrick, Sam Burgess will be looking to rectify. He may lose his place already for the Australia game.
To be honest, I think Sam Burgess has been made a bit of a scapegoat, to be honest. There was a lot reported before the game, being a rugby league convert, his first big start for England. I thought he did very well. His time on the pitch was, I think he was solid. He wasn't great, but going forward, he certainly gave England a few options, and defensively, they were lacking late on. I think this is good to see. Sam Burgess, he's a good lad, and disappointed to lose his place for Saturday, I imagine.
Yeah, he will be. And of course, look at this issue here as well. Wales-England was a big game, and the journalists were really looking to get the best quotes out of them, weren't they? So it's nice to see two players actually making up and moving on in the rugby family that it is. But on to the final tweet that we've got here. It's the World Cup, of course. Some people not too much into rugby, but of course it is actually a day for everyone, and seems to have really caught the baker's eye here, where we've got a couple of gingerbread men been made for the Rugby World Cup, with the result 35-21 at the bottom as well. So nice to see that the whole community, Patrick, is getting involved.
Well, that's it. British Bake Off seems to have taken off these last couple of years, and cake baking is. I'm not sure, whether this will continue, but no, it's a friendly little thing, isn't it?
As long as I get a taste of it, I don't too much mind. Well, that's it for this episode of In Touch. Thank you for watching, and make sure to join us next week.